Josh George here. Week 9 college football predictions. We are more than halfway through the season. I was 9-3 in week 8. My average, of course. Start with the group of 5 game of the week here. Look, I think this game is really interesting. MAC game, two teams with 2 losses facing off here. My Ohio's got a great coach in Tim Albin, but he's gonna have to find a way to, um, um, score against guys like the defensive back Yoshlin McKee, who is 16th in pass breakups, and Caden Woolard, who is 13th in the nation in sacks per game or in sacks. So two stars that are in the top 25 on defense in their respective what they're supposed to do. I've got Miami of Ohio winning this football game. 2, Syracuse and Virginia Tech. This game is on my birthday. You want to give me a present? Like and subscribe, please. So, Syracuse has a 62% chance to win according to the FPI. And it really comes down to turnovers. Can Garrett Schrader, who has 5 interceptions on the year, uh, do well? Can Virginia Tech's defensive coordinator, Chris Marvin, create turnovers? Just my gut and the FPI. I've got Syracuse winning this football game. Wake Forest hosts Florida State. Florida State is 8 in red zone offense. And offensive coordinator for Wake Forest, Warner Regro, has just been like adding different groupings and personnel and things like that. It's just like they're trying to do too much offensively. I feel much more confident in Florida State finishing off drives and not setting for field goals. I have them winning the game because of how they play in the red zone. Duke and Louisville. When I looked at the 247 talent composite, uh, Louisville was 5th, Duke was 12th in the ACC, respectively. So Louisville's the more talented team. Duke has quarterback questions. We do not know necessarily who is going to start, and of course, it's going to be a game of, because of that, it's going to be a game of tempo. Louisville trying to sling the ball around a little bit, short passing game where Duke trying to establish the run. And Louisville has the home field advantage in an afternoon game, and that can make all the difference. I've got Louisville. Indiana, can they take advantage of Penn State? Look, Drew Allard is great, but Indiana is one of the worst teams in the Big Ten against quarterback run game. So we will see how Allard's run game looks and how good this offensive line play for Penn State is. Honestly, they only scored 12. I think they'll score around 30 this week, and I have Penn State winning this game. So, fun little game here. Kind of a mini little rivalry. I was really high on UConn's offensive coordinator, Nick Charlton, coming into the season, and I thought UConn did really well at the portal, but this season has not been going well for them, and this series has not gone well for them, as historically Boston College leads at 12-1. I've got that continuing. I've got Boston College beating UConn. Oh, to the biggest cocktail party. So, look, Graham Mertz could be the key to Florida winning this football game. And, of course, another quarterback that needs to have a great run game. Because Florida is 54th in stopping the run. Of course, Georgia's 44th. Now, in actually running the football, Georgia's 27th in the nation, and Florida is 76th. So Florida's not as good at stopping the run. But of course, Brock Bowers is out, and really, Billy Napier's coaching for his job. He's got to have something creative. Something tells me A guy to, backed up to the wall, animal mentality. Had the both teams had a bye week, obviously, but something tells me that Florida wins. So just feel it in the air. BYU and Texas. One that I wavered on, and then I looked at the 247 talent composite as well. Texas is number one in the Big 12 in 247 talent, and BYU is 14. And coming into the season, according to Phil Steele, Texas was the most experienced team in the Big 12. BYU was the most inexperienced team in the Big 12. Look, the secondary for Texas needs to improve. And for BYU, they're going to need to be able to stop the run. And because we don't know if Ewers is going to play. But there is a talent discrepancy, and the Longhorns are at home. I'll take them to win this football game. Iowa State and Baylor. Look, this is an interesting game in the Big 12. Who is going to be third in the Big 12? Is Iowa State going to have a chance to make a run at the Big 12 championship game? Look, great defensive head coaches in Matt Campbell and Dave Aranda. And Baylor is number 9 in fewest penalties, so they play a really clean game. Take the under in this one for sure. At home on the road, Iowa State may commit some more penalties. So it's really going to come down to getting creative, and something tells me that, it's going to be a little mistakes, like on a 4th down or something, that Iowa State comes up with and gets the victory in a fun game. ESPN Plus 230 kick. Okay, Tennessee and Kentucky. This is a game of two teams that need to find some consistency. Look, Milton and Devin Leary, the two quarterbacks in this game, have not been consistent. See, two really good coaches that can calm them down. I feel like Josh Heupel has a better relationship with his quarterbacks than Mark Stoops, just because Mark Stoops is a defensive guy. I'm not saying he has better relationships with his quarterbacks. I'm saying he's more defensive minded. And of course, Heupel played quarterback. And these offensive lines have to be consistent as well. The more consistent line could decide this football game, or it could be special teams. Tennessee is number 22nd in the nation in punt defense, defending punt returns. Give me the Vols to beat the Wildcats. Ohio State and Wisconsin. Fun game, night game. Ohio State coming off a high. Will there be a hangover against a Wisconsin defense that is getting better each week? This is a game where the spread will grow in favor of Ohio State and get bet up. You might want to, if you're a betting person, bet on Wisconsin to cover the spread because they have a great offensive line, one of the best in the Big Ten, and they're going to be very, very physical, run the ball and control the clock, keep it close. One of those games that might come down to a last-second field goal, and if Phil Longo, who has a pass-heavy offense, has the ball last, he might be able to pull the upset. But I just think that Ryan Day is going to do really well with his game managing skills and end up with the football last. In a game that's probably 30 points wins it, having the ball last when the defenses are a little bit worn out could make all the difference. I've got Ohio State. Oregon and Utah. Look, this game was 20-17 last year. And, man, Dan Lanning as a coach has not looked good these last 2 weeks. No offense. It's just like he's got a brain freeze. But Oregon is 37th on 4th downs, believe it or not. But Utah is 22nd on 4th down defense. Now, their defense is amazing. Offensively, their quarterback was just put on scholarship a few weeks ago. So, it almost feels like, and they just hit that last-second field goal. Everything just seemed to go right. It seems like Utah's getting really, really, really lucky. I know they've got a really good defense, and that does help. But it feels like it's the duck versus the luck. And something tells me to take the duck because Bo knows. I'm Josh George. This was Week 9 college football predictions. Thank you for watching.